everyone, welcome to my channel. My channel is a mixture of everything that I'm interested in. So today we'll be talking about books. Specifically a book haul I did recently where I got a bunch of books but I haven't read any of them yet. And I promised myself I'll be reading today, which is Sunday. It's a good time to read, but I really don't want to. So I'm procrastinating by making a video about books and not actually reading them. Let's get started. Okay, the first book is highly recommended everywhere, especially on TikTok. It's A Little Life. I have heard this book is very sad and it's very thick as well. There's like 800 pages, so I'll probably wait on this. Another book that is also highly recommended on TikTok is a romantic novel called It Ends With Us. And I finished this actually. I hated it. I absolutely did not enjoy this book, and I have my reason for it. I don't know if I should make a video about my unpopular opinion, but let me know if I should make a video about that. Next up, we have The Unreal and the Real. This is a collection of short stories written by the same author. I read a couple of these and they're really good and easy to read, so highly recommend for someone who wants to start the habit of reading but is intimidated by large books. So this would be a good choice. And the pages and everything, it just makes you really want to read. Like, look at that. Oh, this feels good and it smells good too. Next up, we have Slaughterhouse-Five. This is a hardcover edition. I really love it because this isn't the type of hardcover that has the plastic wrap, but this cover itself has the picture. And it's a very small book. My manager recommended this to me. We were talking about the concept of time, and I was saying how maybe there's no concept of time, blah blah, and he recommended this to me, so I'm excited to read it. It should be a short read. Next up, we have one of my favorite, Jane Eyre. I really like this because I really like the edition of the book. This is a soft cover, but the quality is great. It's impeccable. Look at that. And each page is super thick as well. I think what motivates me to read is the cover of the book. Like, I literally judge a book by its cover. I just get more drawn to it and I want to pick it up more. And this is the Penguin, oh no, this is the Barnes and Noble edition of Jane Eyre. A huge book. Next up, we have Stephen Hawking, A Brief History of Time, and this is the illustrated version. As I said, I was talking about the concept of time with my coworkers, and one of them who did a physics undergrad and master's recommended this book to me, and it's like, it looks super cool inside. And I'm hoping that the physics concepts are not too hard for me to grasp because all the illustration, we'll see. Just like, I feel like there's a lot of knowledge in here. Next up, we have Last Words, a memoir by George Carlin. So the reason why I bought this is actually related to another book. This is related to another book I bought, Lenny Bruce. So I got these two because I think Lenny Bruce is a very interesting character, a very interesting comedian. I think he's a thinker, a philosopher, and I really admire him. And so was George. George was really admire him as well. There's actually one time where Lenny Bruce was arrested for, I don't know, something. He keeps getting arrested. George actually broke the law on purpose just so that he could be in the same cop car as Lenny. And I think they're both very intelligent people, and I'm really curious to hear what they have to say. So there's these two memoirs. Next up, I got this around Halloween time. It's classic ghost stories. I tried to read the first page by Edgar Allan Poe, and I just cannot read it. It's just too complicated for me. Like the English. Let me give you an example. Okay, I found an example. She whom I loved in youth, and of whom I now pen calmly and distinctly these remembrances, was the sole daughter of the only sister of my mother long departed. what is that? Sole daughter of the only sister of my mother long departed. It's like, come on, just use simpler English. But of course I understand this is classics and I need to learn to like it and appreciate it. But it will take some time. Next, we have a couple novels that's highly recommended on TikTok and other formal social media. First, we have Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah Maas. I'm not a huge fantasy fan. Because I never really read any fantasy growing up and I never really saw the appeal, but recently I've been thinking maybe the reason why I don't like it is because I didn't give it a fair shot and I didn't learn to appreciate it. So I decided to pick up some fantasy book and to see what it's all about. Then we have a novel, Tender is the Flesh. This was really highly recommended because I heard there's like plot twist in there and I really love plot twists. I also like analyzing human psychology, so I thought this would be a really good book because it's also short, you know? It's good for a lazy reader like me. We next up have The Stranger. The Stranger by Albert Camus? Camus? I don't know. This book is recommended to me by Jessica. It's a very short book, so I'm hoping I can get this, finish this in a day. Next up, we have two books by Shirley Jackson. I really like Shirley Jackson because I love The Haunting of Hill House. But I only watched the TV. I actually never read her book. But I'm sure she's great. I know nothing about her, but I'm sure she's great. So first we have the short story by, this is a collection of short stories by her. And the second is We Have Always Lived in a Castle. So I got this book and I thought I never read it. I thought I know nothing about it. But then I realized actually they made a movie called We Have Always Lived in a Castle, and I actually watched that movie and did not like it, so I wonder if I'll like this book, you know? She is a great writer, so I've heard, so I'm optimistic about these two books. Next up, we have my favorite book that I've ever purchased because it's so beautiful! Look at that! The cover is a hardcover, it's a hard cloth cover. The edition, I think, is the Penguin Classic edition. Oh, I love shopping these books. As I said, I judge a book by its cover, and this is beautiful. And all their classics have different patterns on there. This is The Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I never read her book, so I think I should educate myself on great literature. That's why I picked this up. And look at the pages. The pages, they're super thick. You know, the letters are big enough. And it's like this kind of yellowish hue, and it smells really good too. I also love how they have these like thingy, so you don't lose track of where you're reading, so you don't have to have the separate bookmark. I really like this. I really like this. Like I really like this. I really like the looks of this because I didn't read it. But I'm eager to because it's so beautiful, you know? Next up, actually, we have A History of God. So why, you might ask? I wasn't brought up religiously, and I didn't practice Buddhism, I didn't practice Taoism, and I didn't know anything about religion. And I'm just curious, like, what's the big deal? I mean, why did people believe in it? Like, what's Christianity? What's everything? I know nothing about it. That's why I picked up this book. I kind of just want to see 4,000 years quest of religion, you know. Next up, we have another hardcover Penguin Classics edition. The picture of Dorian Gray. Just look at it. Just look how beautiful this is. Look, it's like the pages. And you know what I love? You know what I love? So this is a book I'm currently reading. What I love is the introduction and the chronology. Like all these introduction at the beginning took up so many pages. So when you're actually reading the actual story, it's already like, I don't know, 12 pages in. And when you're reading it, it makes you feel accomplished. You know, you just started, but it's as if you already started winning. it's like, oh, I already read 12 pages, but actually you didn't. So that's kind of like a mind trick I'm using. So I really love this type of books with a lot of like forewords or introductions. So that's what I'm currently reading right now. Oscar Wilde is someone I know nothing about. That's why I picked up this book, because I know everyone thinks he's great. So why is he great? I don't know. So I'm reading this. Next up, we have To the Lighthouse. The reason why I'm reading this book is the same as the reason why I'm reading The Picture of Dorian Gray, because Virginia Woolf is so significant in literature history that I don't, like, I would feel ashamed if I don't know. You know, like, I should know. I'm supposed to know. That's why I'm reading this book. And this edition is actually also one of my favorite editions. This is the Vintage Classics edition. You can just see, like, all their covers are just so beautiful. And, oh, it's just, when you touch it, you just want to read it. You know, like, that's how I feel. I'm getting a little tired and I need to eat lunch. So I'll see you guys next time. Also, I really hope you guys can comment some book recommendations, because I'm really more interested in reading classics now. I think that I should try to find the values in these classic books instead of, you know, binge Netflix, which I will do very soon. Anyways, I'm gonna stop rambling. Thank you very much for watching. If you watched to this point, give it a thumb up and subscribe, please. Thank you very much. Bye.